We, the Indian Society of Heating, Refrigerating and Air Conditioning Engineers, ISHRAE, stand tall in the Indian industry with over 10,000 professionals as members and almost an equal number of student members. Founded in 1981 and headquartered in Delhi, we operate from chapters and sub-chapters spread all over India, bringing our entire industry together. Individuals become members of our society according to their professional and academic standings. Our roadmap of the future looks very bright, with thousands of new members joining this technical society every year and bringing in a fresh outlook to our industry intelligence. ISHRAE disseminates knowledge through its technical committees, which consists of some of the best minds of our industry. It publishes technical books, newsletters, and a prestigious journal, distributing the wealth of knowledge to all its members. Working with government departments, ISHRAE helps formalize industry codes and standards. ISHRAE promotes research by offering financial support to student members to carry out groundbreaking work in technology, systems and processes. Our educational wing, ISHRAE Institute of Excellence, organizes training programs and workshops to help members enhance their skill sets. Our specially designed certification programs under ICP, that is, ISHRAE Certified Professional, empower professionals to always be in step with the prevailing technology. Specially designed courses for technicians are offered to meet the ever-increasing demand for a skilled workforce. ISHRAE organizes exhibitions, conferences, panel discussions, and product presentations throughout the country. We organize the industry's largest international exposition in South Asia, ISHRAE India, to showcase the cutting-edge technology, innovation, and provide a platform for closer interactions amongst the decision makers in the industry. The ISHRAE exhibition is now growing from HVAC&R show into BFA, Build Fair Alliance. This brings together several allied shows connected with the building services industry, all at one location. Our chapters organize several other popular events like ISHRAE in Delhi, Raycon in Kolkata, Symposia in Mumbai, TechFest in Goa, and many more. We are committed to provide training and career guidance to our student members through seminars, lectures, quiz contests and site visits. A-Quest, a prestigious quiz competition organized by ISHRAE to catalyze the transformation of the budding engineering professionals. ISHRAE provides a platform to potential employers to select student members for careers in HVAC and our industry at the ISHRAE Job Junction. Young minds are made aware of the need for saving power, clean air and sustainability. The K-12 initiative of ISHRAE focuses attention on school students' development to inculcate a scientific fervor and help develop them into responsible citizens. Speedy information is imperative to keep moving forward in this hyper-connected digital age. Searcher, a specifically designed search engine, is now available, which allows access to a well-catalogued database on HVACR and building services industry with just a few clicks. ISHRAE cooperates with various national and international bodies, industry, governments, academia, think tanks, to promote the concept of sustainability, environmental protection, and energy efficiency and conservation. To enter and explore the universe of the Indian HVACR industry, log on to ISHRAE.in that unfolds a panorama of information. Let us engineer a sustainable future together through ISHRAE.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Hello.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir.
So, thank you very much. Thank you, all the students and all the panelists for joining this program. As we know that today we will cover invention through the Make in India initiative, and this program is being organized by ISHRAE Delhi chapter and supported by student ISHRAE. We have Mr. Kausal Sharma for the speaker of the day. Just like to add few words for our speaker today. Mr. Kausal Sharma is an assistant professor at Department of Civil Engineering, FEAT and SGT University. His qualification is PhD, pursuing MTech Structural Design, MTech in Civil Engineering, with work experience of 9 years in which teaching experience is 8 years and corporate experience is 1 year. His teaching interests are structural design, design of steel structure, energy efficiency building, surveying, concrete technology, and research interests are concrete technology, constructions, material, and structure dynamics. His recent publications are 10, faculty developments program 8, conferences, seminars, and workshop 15, PG thesis guided 35, and UG projects guided 90. So we have enough opportunity today to learn from Mr. Kausal Sharma. Without wasting more time, anything, I request Mr. Kausal Sharma to proceed with this PPT. Before that, anything Satvir sir would like to share. So over to you, Satvir Singh sir.
Good afternoon, all. And there is a program, Invention through Make in India initiative process. So I welcome Kausal Sharma sir to kindly deliver his knowledge to the student regarding this the topic, that is Invention through Make in India initiative. So Kausal sir, kindly deliver the lecture.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the introduction. Am I audible? My voice is clear to all?
Absolutely clear, sir.
Okay, fine. So I'll share my screen. Just give me a moment. Okay. My screen is visible to all?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So I'll start the presentation. So today's topic is invention through the Make in India initiative. Firstly, we need to understand what is this initiative is all about, Make in India. Then we'll go to the several part of this. So as you can see, just give me a moment. So we'll cover the introduction of Make in India initiative, then what are the sectors where this initiative is working right now, and what are the opportunities and the policies by the government and makers of Make in India. So we'll start with the introduction first. So what is this initiative? In 2014, this program was launched for making India a leader in manufacturing or designing. As we all know, a lot of things are exported for the functionality of various fields in India. For example, if we want to create a mobile phone, Fine. To create a mobile phone, we need a different kind of parts of this, and we used to export those parts from China, majorly from China. And there are a lot of things we used to export from the other countries. So this initiative was launched to minimize that gap between other countries and India, where India was, lagging behind in the manufacturing sector of various things. So from 2014 to 22, we have came a long way to come up or to stand among all the other countries in the manufacturing sector of various things. It may be automobile sector, it may be electronic sectors, electronic goods, or maybe defense. So this initiative changed a lot of things in India. And what another thing it is was that initiative was all about, like that initiative was a call to different stakeholders in India, different business leaders, or any other youth who have some ideas to come up with a business, to create a business out of it, or any startup, to call all of them and give all of them a platform where they can start their startup and come up with their ideas and convert that into a manufacturing hub or any other plan. So this Make in India program created all these things in India. And what it did after that, we came up with a plan, we started manufacturing some things. And what does this thing change, where we wanted to see ourselves? Like you can see from the third line, it changes the mindset of the government. Like earlier a lot of things were under government, like you can see nowadays there is a privatization of a lot of things. NHAI was earlier building roads and highways on a larger scale, and very less number of private companies were there in the highway construction. But now NHAI majorly are giving tenders to the private company for the construction of highway. So privatization changed the thing, and it changed the mindset of the government as well after this initiative. So all these things combined, and it pushes India for the manufacturing and development all across the country, and to stand among the global leaders of world. Fine. So this is basic introduction what was Make in India. Now uh, like the topic was inventions through Make in India. How you can start an invention through Make in India if you don't know uh, what kind of sectors it is covering. Like you make an invention and you came up with the thing that how can I how can I start a startup through this invention? So the next point is sectors. What are the sectors this Make in India is covering? There are a lot of sectors. In total 27 sectors are there on which Make in India have a lot of policies, like for their subsidies or helping building a startup on the sectors. So there are 27 sectors. We will be covering the major 6 sectors where India have taken a big leap in those sectors. But firstly, we'll name several sectors, like one is automobile sector, like I highlighted the first one. Then the other one is automobile component. Then other one is aviation. Then biotechnology, chemicals, constructions, defense manufacturing, electrical machinery, electronic system, food processing, IT and BPM, leather industry, media and entertainment, mining industries, oil and gas, pharmaceuticals, ports and shipping, railways, renewable energy resources, roads and highways, space, textile and garments, thermal power, tourism and hospitality. These are 24. There are 3 other sectors on which Make in India is working for helping other people to come up with the startups. There are a lot of opportunities for the young people to come up with the ideas related to all those sector, and they can put the idea in the sector, or they can come up with a startup. There are a lot of ways. So we will cover majorly 6 sectors, as I told you, which took a big leap during this initiative. The first one to take a leap, it is automobile sector. In past few years, we have seen a huge growth in this sector. Yes, in between those years where COVID hit the country or world, so at that time there was a bit stoppage in the production of automobile sector. There were a bit of stoppage in the manufacturing, but it was not a permanent stop. A lot of cars were still in the manufacturing industry while there was a COVID, and that industry still kept running at the time of you can say that pandemic. So what we have seen in automobile sectors, so we'll see the numbers first. I have used the word number game because it is a bit attractive number, as you can read in this presentation as well. So the industry is quite big. It is right now 118 billion US dollars industry, and it is expected to reach about 300 US dollar billion dollars by 2026. So you can see there is a lot of scope in this industry. So if anybody want to come up with an invention, they can come up in this automobile sector. Then India is projected to be world's third largest automotive market in terms of volume. That means volume means the numbers of four-wheelers, two-wheelers, three-wheelers we are manufacturing. So the volume of manufacturing, according to volume of manufacturing, will be the third largest automotive market in the world by 26. And if we are talking about EV market, that electric vehicles, so India is about to become a largest electric vehicle market in terms of two-wheelers and three-wheelers. Yes, in four-wheelers we are a bit behind than the big players of the world, but we are almost about to become a biggest EV market across the world for two-wheelers and three-wheelers. And then the automobile sector contributes to the GDP as well. It contributes to about 35% of overall manufacturing GDP of the country. So you can see this sector contribute a lot. So that's why we are talking about this sector. Then another point, India ranks first in the world market in terms of production of two-wheelers and three-wheelers and tractors. We are producing most numbers of two-wheelers, three-wheelers and tractors. And then fifth in the production of passenger vehicles and commercial vehicles. So we are among the big players. We are among the Germany, USA and China, all the big countries who are manufacturing a lot of things. So we are par with them in the manufacturing of automobiles, and automobile industry is growing so fast in the India. So we are about to become leaders in all the sectors of automobile manufacturing. Fine. So this is the number game. And what is government doing in this Make in India initiative? These are the numbers. Fine. You can see we are growing, the industry is growing, and what the role is of government in it. So there are some policies which government have made for this basically automobile sector. So these are the policies. You can see National Program on Advanced Chemistry Cell Battery Storage. What is this policy basically? What does it do? There is just a name of it. I'll underline this part. So this National Program on Advanced Chemistry Cell Battery Storage. What is this? So this scheme basically empowers a person who want to come up with a manufacturing plant of a battery, battery. So they will give them you can say monetary funds through loan, and they will make them able to come up with a manufacturing plant for these batteries, which can come up to the power of 50 gigawatt. Fine. So this is a program for the manufacturing of batteries. Fine. Then there is another policy basically which is for the charging infrastructure for the EVs. Like I've told you about the electric vehicles. We are about to come up with become the largest market for the electrical vehicles. So, but where is the charging infrastructure? That is why there are a lot of people asking question about electric vehicles, and they are not purchasing it blindly, or they are still preferring petrol or diesel vehicles over electric vehicles. So the reason behind that, there is a very lack of charging infrastructure around India. There are very less charging stations. You can if you have gone through Delhi, there are various malls where there are charging station for the electric vehicles, but it is not very common to find it. So in coming years up to 2026, there will be a lot of charging infrastructure needs to be developed around across the country, and a lot of budget has been approved for this as well. So in all the metro cities, the charging infrastructure will be coming very early, but across India it will take a lot of time. But the government has taken some schemes for this. They are coming up with the guidelines. They are, I mean, giving subsidies to the business hubs so that they can create this charging infrastructure. Then the other is National Automobile Scrappage Policy. What is this? The third one is you need to know about this policy. That is after that only you can come up with the invention and work on that Make in India initiative. So what is this? This policy is basically aimed at creating an ecosystem for phasing out old and unsafe polluting vehicles and replacing them with the newer, safer and fuel efficient vehicles. Fine. And what does this policy do? This policy help in increasing automobile sales, provide employment and reduce import cost for the country. And then this policy also provide an important link in creating a circular economy for the country. So these are the points this policy covered. In short, अगर हम normal भाषा में बात करें तो हमारे जो बहुत सारे vehicles ऐसे हैं जो waste हो गए हैं या फिर अपने जो उनका टाइमलाइन है, यूजुअली जैसे डीजल का व्हीकल 10 इयर्स के लिए अलॉट होता है, देन पेट्रोल व्हीकल 15 इयर्स की उसकी लाइफ रहती है. तो देन अगर वो vehicles they are not good for the use or they are polluting the environment, so that scrap, वो जो scrap बच जाता है उसको कैसे dismantle करना है या फिर उसका हमें क्या steps लेने हैं उसको dump करने के लिए, then उसको replace करके हम जो नए vehicles लेके आ रहे हैं, तो उस चीज के लिए पूरा planning इस policy के अंदर है. Then next is FAME India scheme. What is this? Next is FAME India scheme. So this scheme basically it aims to create demand, right? I mean, demand create hogi, then we'll have to manufacture, na? So this scheme aims to create a demand by way of supporting 7,000 e-buses, 5 lakhs E3-wheelers and 55,000 E4-wheelers passenger cars and 10 lakhs E2-wheelers. So this policy will create demand across India. The numbers I for the, like I have told you about e-buses, fine, e-bus and E3-wheeler and E2-wheeler. So this policy will create a demand for all these electric vehicles majorly. Then the other is automotive mission plan 2016 to 26. This is a mission or plan of 10 years for the growth of automobile sector in India. What does it do? This plan basically provide a trajectory of growth of the automotive ecosystem in India, including the glide path of definite regulations and policies that govern research, design, technology, testing, and manufacturing of automobile sector. Fine. Then automobile industry is projected to be the third largest in the world and contributing 12% to the GDP. Fine. So this plan basically again helps the automobile industry to come up with the good numbers, take a leap in manufacturing industry across the India. The next is a national automotive testing and R&D infrastructure project. What is this? Like you have heard about the crash test for the cars. So there are a lot of talk about the safety nowadays. Earlier it was not the talk of the town. Nobody was talking about safety in the cars. We were talking about mileage, we were talking about average, we are talking about pickup, we were talking about all the things, but safety was not there. It was not the talk. But nowadays we are coming up with the safety ratings of the cars. We are talking about it. People are buying the cars according to those safety ratings. They are now oriented towards that as well. So what this automotive testing and R&D infrastructure project do? So this provide a testing infrastructure to the country to test the car for the safety features and to come up with a crash test and providing a research infrastructure in the country so that these things can be focused on as well, so that we come up with the safe automobile vehicles and automobile sector. Then next is a national electric mobility mission plan 2020. What is this? This initiative is taken up to encourage consistent, affordable, and competent electric vehicles that should meet the consumers' demand or consumer expectations. So this plan again, like you can say, we have talked about e-buses as well in automotive plan and Fame India scheme. But again, this also plan also focused on electric vehicles majorly, because the future it is all about EV, electric vehicles. We want to reduce the emissions from petrol and diesel vehicles, so moving towards the automobile sectors. So there are a lot of plans. I mean, there are a lot of details to every policy. The national program on advanced chemistry, charging infrastructure, national automobiles, Fame India, automotive, national automotive testing, and national electrical mobility. But as we have 1 hour only, so I have given a brief introduction of each policy to you, so you can have the knowledge of all this. The next is the other sector. We have completed that automobile sector, the policy related to it, and what we are looking into it, and how much growth we have seen in that sector. The next one is electronic system design and manufacturing sector. This sector needs a lot of growth, actually needed. It came up with I mean, we have seen growth in this sector as well. But as I have told you earlier in the start of the session, that we were importing, sorry, I used a wrong word earlier. We were importing a lot of equipment for these electronics gadgets. For making a mobile phone, we need to import a lot of part of this mobile phone and then get assembled in India, and then we sell that across the India. And there are a lot of things. Even if I tell you about a piston, you have seen piston somewhere in your chair, in any you can say machinery. We were not able to even manufacture a simple piston in India in some days ago or some years ago. So what does this Make in India initiative did? So we are now started some developing some electronics chips, or you can say IC, integrated circuit. Earlier we were not manufacturing integrated circuit at a large scale in India. So this initiative changed the scenario for this sector as well. Like again, we come up with a number game in this particular thing. So India's digital base is second largest in the world, and is growing at the second fastest rate among the 17 leading economies. So the digital base is growing in India, right? And we will come up with will become leaders in some years to come. And the domestic demand for electronics hardware is expected to rise rapidly, about USD 400 billion by 2025. So you can see the demand of these electronics gadgets is about to rise a lot in the coming years. And then India is among the world's fastest growing fintech market and fintech startups. So all these numbers are indicating to us we need a lot of infrastructure to develop these electronics items or electronics gadgets. Then now we are also exporting these goods. We are coming up with some manufacturing of these goods. Like you can say, India export of electronic goods rose by almost 88% from $600 millions in 2013-14 to 12,400 million in 21-22. So between these years, you can say the Make in India initiative was started at 2014, and by 22 we are exporting some electronic goods as well. So you can see the data of 21, if you see top five most export destination where we are exporting our goods. These are USA. We have done 18% of our exports to USA. Then UAE we are exporting 16.6%, China 7.6%, Netherlands 4.5%, and Germany 4.2%. So this initiative made India capable of doing all these things. Earlier we were not talking about this. Even in our cars, if you talk about there are a lot of cars where we apply this integrated circuit. We used to import those integrated circuit from the other country, but right now we are developing those integrated circuit in our country itself. And because of that, some costing in the manufacturing of those cars have been reduced. Now, what are the policies for this sector? Fine. There are a lot of policies for this sector as well. That is electronic sector. The first is Telecom Technology Development Fund Scheme. Fine. So what is all about this scheme? Let me highlight this. Telecom Technology Development Fund Scheme. So this basically a policy. It is all about to come up with a idea to provide funds in basically the areas where we does not have a telecommunication technology a lot, like in rural area. If there are specific rural area where there is gap in communication technology, and we want to come up with a installation of those telecommunication technology, or there is any other person or company who wants to come up with startup. So we'll provide funds to that for all those work, and through a particular policy where they will get a low interest rate for that particular loan or that fund. So this schemes is all about for the development of telecommunication sector in areas where it is not there. And then second is national policy on electronics. What does this policy do? So this policy is for encouraging and driving capabilities in the country for developing core components, including chipsets that I earlier told you about, the IC integrated circuit, and by creating an enabling environment for the industry to completely compete globally in this market, basically. So this policy is focused towards the manufacturing of this chips and integrated circuits. Fine. The next one is modified special incentive package scheme. What is this? This is also called MSIP scheme. I'll write it. MSIP. So what does this scheme do? This scheme provide capital subsidy of 20% to the electronic industry in special economic zones, and 25% to the industries outside special economic zone. Fine. So again, this basically provides incentives or subsidies to the companies who are working on electronic sectors. And if you have to apply for these subsidies, and you should be eligible for applying. If I quote some datas, so there are 235 applicants with about 66,407 crore proposed investment. Like, I'll write the numbers. These are the big numbers, and these are the big players basically in India. So 235 applicants, and the amount is 66,407 crores, which is approved for the development of electronics, manufacturing plants, or you can say electronics infrastructure across the country. Then the next policy is Electronics Development Fund. It is a bit similar to the first one, Telecom Technology Development Fund scheme. So this scheme, what this scheme does do? This scheme basically promote the startups and innovation at different levels. Fine. So this is a fund that invests in venture funds, which in turn invest in innovations and startup in electronics, that may be nano electronics and related to IT. Like so there are a lot of investment there as well. So like the first one is that MSIP. It support the big players basically, and this EDF, it also support the people who are coming up with startups who does not have a lot of funds, or they are not coming up with the big names or a big support in their back. So someone with a startup, a small idea, small invention, they can get help from this policy, EDF, that Electronics Development Fund. Then Electronics Manufacturing Scheme. What is this? So this scheme basically is for promotion of manufacturing of electronic components and semiconductors. You can say just give me a moment. Yes, I'll continue. So this basically is for the development of semiconductors devices like diodes or other semiconductor devices in the electronics market. And it also has been notified to strengthen the value chain for electronic manufacturing in India with the target segment comprising of downstream value chain products. So basically, and also there are a lot of other things which this policy covers, like it covers the modified electronics manufacturing cluster scheme. So this scheme basically is to support the creation of quality infrastructure with common facilities and amenities for the electronics sector. Okay. Uh, so there it is all about this policy. Then production linked incentive scheme. What is this? So this scheme is again approved under the Make in India initiative. It is for the financial outlay of around 5,000 crore over a 5 year period for enhancing India's manufacturing capabilities and enhancing support exports through the Atmanirbhar Bharat program. So there is another program in Make in India initiative that is called Atmanirbhar Bharat. So through this, the exports we are looking forward to improve the exports, as we have earlier discussed in the earlier slide. As I'm going back to the previous slide, where you can see we are exporting a lot. We have seen a rise of 88% in the export of electronics items. So that was due to this particular scheme. Then a scheme for setting up a display fabs in India. What is this? So this basically a scheme which support to again eligible candidates. This scheme again I'm again I'm repeatedly talking about eligible candidates. Like if somebody coming up with a plan and they does not have any fund and their plan is not very good, so they are not eligible basically. You need to have some backing up, you need to have some funds, you need to have a good idea. So there are some eligibility criteria to come up with, and you need to have all those eligibility criteria with you for to get the advantage or get the benefits of all these schemes. Fine. So I'll continue for this. So it support the eligible candidates for setting up of display fabs, which aimed at attracting large investment for setting up of this your LCD screens, a molded display. So display fabs mean the electronic goods which are related to the display, like your screen, LED screen, a molded screen, all this screen is called display fabs. So this basically focuses on the manufacturing of electronic goods related to the display of various items. Okay, so this scheme provides financial support of up to 50% of project cost. Fine, subjected to the ceiling of 12,000 crore per fab. Again, it's a big number. Then the last scheme is scheme for setting up of semiconductor fab in India. What is this? So again, there's also a scheme to manufacture for the to support the manufacturing of semiconductor devices. And if if there is a need of investment, so government will be there to invest, and there is also a chance of foreign investment. Like it is not all about government. You can also get the foreign investment. As we'll move to the further slides, you can see you will learn about the foreign investment as well. So in this scheme will help in setting up the semiconductor manufacturing hubs in India. And now we are moving towards another sector. We'll speed up a little bit now. The other one is renewable energy sector. Renewable energy covers solar energy, wind energy, all the renewable source of energy in India. So this sector is also growing, and a lot of policies are there. And again, we'll go to the numbers as well now. So for this sector, like you can see, India stands at 4th position across the globe at installed renewable energy capacity. So we are at very good position right now in this particular sector. And if you can see the second point, the installed renewable energy capacity has increased from 76.37 gigawatt to 159.95 gigawatt in 22 from 2014. So we have seen an increase of 109.4%. So yeah, we almost doubled the capacity of our you can say doubled the capacity of renewable energy generation. Then if you can see the under green energy corridor scheme, we are coming up with the transmission lines for the building of substation, so that we can come up with the storage of this you can say renewable energy. We need all those transmission lines, we need those substation to transfer that light to the public area. Otherwise it is a waste. You cannot store current. You can store it in a battery, but you have to transfer, and for that you need substation and transmission lines. So we are coming up with those basically across the India. Then another point is this electricity energy generation from renewable energy sources has increased from 193.5 billion units during 2014 to 306 billion units during 21. So this is also a big steps and big leap towards the energy generation. So sorry, this, I guess I skipped something. Yes. So what are the different schemes for this sector? So there are various schemes, like first is Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gram Jyoti Yojana. What is this? In this scheme, the first one, I'll highlight. In the first one, so in this scheme, basically, the government have separated agricultural and non-agricultural feeders, so that for providing subsidies to this for the installing of solar plants or any wind energy plant, so that they have separated this agricultural and non-agricultural in areas for the subsidies. Then for strengthening of transmission and distribution infrastructure in rural areas, for and metering at distribution transformers. So a lot of things like has been developed in rural areas for all this. This is all under Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gram Jyoti Yojana. And then in rural electrification scheme, we have done a separate rural electrification components and approved outlay for the scheme, and it has been working a lot. Like we have listened about there, we have listened or we have known about there are a lot of villages where there are no electricity. So or there is electricity, but it come for a few hours. So there was a problem of infrastructure. So a lot of things has been covered in this scheme, and a lot of transmission line has been laid, and a lot of substation have been made for this transfer of electricity across the rural area or the area where there are no electricity, and other transmission line for the renewable energy sector as well is created in this particular scheme. Then second is production linked incentives. What is this? This scheme basically is supports the solar manufacturing, solar cell manufacturing or solar plant manufacturing. So this scheme provides subsidy to the people who are or coming up with a the production of solar cells or solar, you can say, devices. So the companies who are coming up with these ideas are getting incentive for that in the form of subsidies. So these schemes basically cover the people or the manufacturer or manufacturing devices related to the solar energy. Then next is Atal Jyoti Yojana. What is this? So the third one, Atal Jyoti Yojana. This scheme basically is focused towards the solar street light. If there is a requirement of solar street light, there is a manufacturing plant or installation of street light. In this particular scheme, 25% of the fund is contributed by the government through this scheme, and it is provided to the manufacturing industry. If somebody is manufacturing this and installing the lights, so they'll get 25% of subsidy, you can say, or you can say they can get 25% of the fund of total manufacturing. So this scheme is majorly focused on towards that solar street lights. Then fourth one is energy storage system. What is this? So this is basically to create a storage system on a large scale across the country. Like I have told you, right now we can save electricity or store electricity in a battery system. So we need storage system as well across the country. So this basically promotes the people who are coming up with the ideas for the energy storage system, or they want to develop any kind of storage system across the India. They'll get a support in monetary terms as well, or in any terms of research and development as well, through this particular scheme. The next is green open access rule 2022. So this rule is notified, or this rule come up to accelerate our ambitious renewable energy program with the goal of ensuring access to affordable, reliable, and sustainable and green energy to all the people. Right now, it is a bit costly. If you talk about solar, just give me a moment. So I'll continue. So this basically, this green open access rule is focused towards providing uh, green energy or renewable energy to everyone in the India, or across all the cities and villages of the India. So as you can see, there are a lot of solar panels have been installed in the rooftop of normal household areas, but there is still a lot of major societies or household area is not using the solar energy. So we need this green energy to be used by everyone, and everyone should have the access to all these things. So this particular scheme focused on that particular part. So we have covered the renewable energy sector. The other one is roads and highway sector. So this road and highway sector, what this sector is all about, it majorly focused on the construction of transportation means. Like fine. So again, we'll go to the numbers game. What are the numbers game? So India has the second largest road network in the world at about 62.16 lakhs kilometer. So this is a big number. And India also have created a world record of making 38 kilometers per day of highway or road construction. So we are growing in the sector. We are coming up with the new ideas, right? Then we can see the average annual construction during financial year 2015 to financial year 2021. It is increased by 3%. So again, we are taking a big leap in this sector. And the national highways, which were in 2008, were of 91,000 kilometers. It increased up to 1,41,000 kilometers in India, and now we are coming up with a pace of 37 kilometer per day construction in 2022, while in 2008 we were just constructing to 12 kilometer in a particular day. So there are a lot of schemes again for this sector. First is the Bharatmala Pariyojana scheme, under which we have focused towards the connection of major cities. Delhi, Bombay, you can see the corridors are coming up, the expressways are coming up. So all these things are have covered in this particular Bharatmala Yojana. All the corridors which are coming up, and border and international connectivity routes, this all comes under Bharatmala Pariyojana scheme. Then second is National Roadways Development Program. So what is this? This is basically another scheme which is lie under this particular scheme. It is called Parvatmala. So this Parvatmala, basically it is a road roadway design or ropeway design for the hilly areas. So there are a lot of ropeways are required in hilly areas. There are some ropeways across the hilly areas in the country, but we need a lot of ropeways. So basically 8 to 10 projects have been started across the India for the ropeway of length of around 60 kilometers. And so the other is new car assistance program. This is a similar scheme which we have earlier discussed in the automobile sector, because road safety is related to the automobile safety. So in new car assistance program, again we focused on the crash test, so that there will be something safe on the you can say road, or if we talk about the crash test, the vehicle should be the people in the vehicle should be safe. There are other plans as well, like Setu Bharatam, which is focused on development of you can say overbridges, then Char Dham Mahamarg Vikas Pariyojana, which will connect the Char Dham of the India, and a lot of expressway. You can see Dwarka Expressway is building around Delhi, and Delhi Mumbai Expressways, I mean, under construction, which will go through the Sona, and then Yamuna Expressway is there. So all these things have been built through these expressway schemes. So this is all about roads and highway sector. Then other big sector is pharmaceutical sector. So what this sectors, I mean, you can see the tablets, the medicines. We have seen a lot of good numbers of development of COVID vaccine in India. So we have seen a lot of jump in that area. Yes, at the time of COVID, we have seen a crisis of ventilators, some medical equipments. There were lacks, but not in India. There was a lack across the world, because those were you can say costly equipment, which, and also it is used in less numbers across the world. So there was a need of ventilators at the time of COVID, which during that we felt there was less number of ventilators. But because there was no need earlier, so we have not developed those medical equipments. It doesn't mean we were far behind the requirements. So like you can see the number games, we are coming up with a number game in the pharmaceutical sector as well. Like India is the third largest in the world in terms of volume, and 14 largest in terms of value across the world in this pharmaceutical industry. So third largest in the world in terms of volume means in generating number of medicines, and in terms of value it is about the cost. So we are third in manufacturing, and if you compare the cost, we are 14th largest. And if we come up with the other thing, there is generic drugs. We call it generic drugs. Generic drugs basically are replacement of a particular medicine which has been manufactured by a company of a higher cost, and other company come up with a similar salt and manufacture it at low cost. It is called basically generic medicine. So we have we are largest provider of generic medicine across the world. Then the market size, this pharmaceutical industry is about to expected to reach up to 130 billion US dollar. In 2024 we are expecting it to go up to 65 billions, but by 2030 we are expecting it to reach up by 130 billion dollars. Then what is at the exporting side? We are exporting a lot of medicine to the world. The amount of it is about 2,050 million US dollars. We have exported this amount of this is cost basically. This cost amount, this amount of medicine in up to September 2022, and it shares about 6.29 of total exports of the month. If you consider every item across the India, we are exporting to the world. Of all the items, 6.29% are of this pharmaceutical industry. So what we are looking at, if we'll see the world, we are about to provide 20% of global generic drugs exports in the coming years. So we are quite far ahead in this sector as well. So what are the policies for this particular sector? I'll not explain in detail now in coming parts. So the first basically policy is promotion of medical devices parks. What is this policy? Basically, this policy is to provide the infrastructure of healthcare across the India. We have seen we are manufacturing medicines at a good rate, but what about the infrastructure? What about the facility? What about the medical equipment? So these medical devices parks, this basically policy will provide an easy access to standard testing and infrastructure facility, through which we can create a world-class medical infrastructure. So this sector will promote that. This policy will promote all these points. Then strengthening of pharmaceutical industries. What is this? So this policy is basically coming up with a financial outlay scheme for basically for the period of 5 years. It has a complete financial scheme of budgeted of around 500 crores to help or to support the manufacturing industry, which is producing pharmaceuticals, which is producing you can say medicines, fine. So India is about to come up with or come up as a global leaders in this sector. So in the pharma sector, we are providing financial assistance to the pharma clusters and the companies. Next is the National Pharmaceutical Pricing Policy. What does this policy do? So this policy basically regulates the price of the medicines or drugs across the India and list it basically prepare a national list of essential medicines and regulate the price of it. So this particular policy focused on towards this pricing. Then next is your pharmaceutical promotion development scheme, PPDS. So this basically under this scheme, the government conduct training and knowledge improvement program for the growth of the pharmaceutical industry, and the government organize summits, exhibition, pharmacy week for the promotion of the materials and promotional materials like videos, short videos for the development of you can say pharmaceutical industry. So this basically this particular thing do this. I guess I was heard you guys were celebrating or organizing Farmer Week. So this comes under this scheme basically. The National Telemedicine Service. What is this? This is basically towards e-service for the basically health e-service for the medical industries. It is a digital health initiative by the ministry to implement the health and wellness center or hub for the service across the India for the medicinal help, or you can say if somebody is in problem, they can go to a app and work on that. Like the other one is also Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission. So these two are basically interlinked policies. Like you have seen that Ayushman Bharat, an app there was related to that. So under this scheme, that Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission, citizen will be able to create their numbers, Aadhaar number. We have ABHA, Aadhaar numbers, to which their digital health records can be linked, and their health can be monitored online with the help of some doctors. Then last is Pradhan Mantri Bharatiya Jan Aushadhi Kendras. What is this? So there are a lot of centers which has been established across India where you can go and can have the medicines. They're called Pradhan Mantri Jan Aushadhi Kendras. So the numbers for this are about to increase. There is a target of around 10,500 these kendras or centers to be created by the end of March 2025. So there will be availability of drugs and medicine at these centers. So we are coming up to the last sector, food processing sector. So before talking about this sector, I want to explain why we are talking about these policies and numbers is all about. If you want to come up with the invention or you want to go up for the startup, you should know where you should start, which sector you should come up with, which idea you should come up with, or you have to implement that idea at which sector. So there are a lot of things you have to learn before thinking like yes, I can go to the Make in India initiative and I can do a lot of things, but you have to learn these things first. You have to identify the sector related to your idea, then go through the schemes through which you can get the benefit and you can come up with a startup. Now we are talking we will go to the last sector, that is food processing sector. So what is the number game in this sector? So in milk production, we are contributing around 23% to the global milk production. So we are at the top of this milk production basically. And if we're talking about egg production, we are third in global rank for the production of eggs, and we are the second largest sugar producer after Brazil. And then if we're talking about processed fruits, India ranks first, and vegetable recorded a significant growth of about 42.42%. Then India is a largest producer of spices, masale hamare. So then overall food production, we are talking about what kind of growth we have seen. We were already I mean producing this food items, or you can say processed fruit, or all these things in good numbers earlier as well. So we have seen some rise, not as drastic as we have seen in other sectors. Like in 2000 up to 13-14 we were producing 265.5 metric tons. Now we are producing 3.14.51 metric tons in 21-22. So we have seen a rise, and we are also at a good situation right now across the world at this sector. So basically this number game. Now next is basically what are the sorry, I guess I have inserted a wrong slide in this food processing sector. There are some policies for this sector as well. I have missed that policy is in my slide. So I'll tell you normally. So for this food and processing sector, government are coming up with some policies as well. So what are this policy? I'll write and tell you. So there are some missions like National Mission for Sustainable Agriculture. I'll write the short form NMSA. National Mission for Sustainable Agriculture. So what does it do? This basically is a plan for agricultural sector, so that we can produce the goods, produce the food items, but without harming the environment, without using a lot of pesticides or chemicals for the good productions. So basically organic farming, promoting more of organic farming. This is basically an idea of this NMSA. Or if somebody is coming up with the organic farming, so they will get some subsidy. The next one is Animal Husbandry and Infrastructure Development. It is AHIDF, Animal Husbandry Infrastructure Development Fund. What is this again? If somebody is doing some farming, so they'll get some subsidy fund for this particular field. So what will be the amount? So there are basically amount of you can say 10% margin money for the eligible beneficiaries of the scheme will be given to them. And if somebody want to start the thing and want to get a loan, so they can get a 90% of the loan. If there is an amount of 1 lakh for the starting of this farming, they can get up to 90% of the amount in the form of loan from the government. So this is a scheme for animal husbandry. So there's some other scheme as well, like PM Kisan Samman Nidhi. Like I'll write it somewhere. PM Kisan SN लिख देता हूँ मैं आगे, सम्मान निधि. So what is this? Under this scheme amount around a lot of amount has been released for the farmers family, and they were benefited for the loss of their you can say farming, or the loss of their cultivation due to the natural reason or any other reason. So they'll get subsidy for that. So under this PM Kisan Samman Nidhi program. So again, if you talk about the numbers, like the database which have this registered amount under PM Kisan, this Samman Nidhi program, it includes around 11.64 crore farmers. 11.64 crore farmers which are registered with this program, and they have been benefited around, you can see, 1,10,000 crore rupees across the India through this program. So there's a lot of help to the people who are coming up for the manufacturing of the food items, which we call farmers. In Hindi we call them kisan. So there are a lot of schemes for this sector as well. Now, as we have covered the sectors, major sectors, now we are coming to the third point of this slide, which are opportunities. We have covered what is this Make in India initiative and how the sectors are affected and how the government are making policy through this initiative to help these sectors. Now, what are the opportunities? So there is the opportunities means how you can come up with a business. Earlier we have discussed about how you have to come up with your business plan. क्या बिजनेस प्लान यूर आपके हो सकते हैं, कैसे आप पॉलिसी से बेनिफिट ले सकते हैं. अब वो बिजनेस तो स्टार्ट हो गया, so what you will do from that business. So these are the opportunities. These opportunity basically are focused on industrial corridor. Fine. And what is this? You can see from this point, the different sector of an economy are interdependent on each other. Fine. We have talked about different sectors, and this industrial corridor recognize this interdependence. So we'll have linked all these sectors through these industrial corridors, and we need that integration and this you can say connection in this sector to create a big business opportunities. And to create big business opportunity, we need to have a good supply chain. And how we can get a supply chain until for that we need some industrial corridor or interconnected corridor for that. So what this plan has done, so we have created a lot of corridors for the promotion of, or to create a lot of opportunities for the investors to invest in India, or a big big player in India or investing in startups. So with that we have created some industrial corridor. The first one is Delhi Mumbai corridor. This will link two cities, basically Delhi or Mumbai, through a 4-lane highways majorly, and it will be a 6-lane highway in some areas. And Chennai Bangalore industrial corridor, so it will cover the south region of India. Then extension of CBIC is that second one to Kochi via Coimbatore. Then Amritsar Kolkata industrial corridor, that will connect Punjab and Bengal basically. Then Hyderabad Nagpur corridor, Hyderabad Warangal industrial corridor, Hyderabad Bangalore corridor, Bangalore and Mumbai corridor, East Coast economic corridor, Odisha economic corridor, Delhi Nagpur corridor. These corridors will connect whole of India and the industrial hub of India across each other for the good supply chain system, and for the transfer of the one sector or transfer of one you can say technology or in particular sector to the other sector. So this will create opportunity of business and funding in India. Fine. The next one is policies. We have learned about the policy of different sectors. So these are basically policies for the whole of this Make in India initiatives. One is intellectual property fact, the other is foreign direct investment, third is ease of doing business, and there are other reforms as well for helping other points. So what is this intellectual property fact is what? So you need to know about this intellectual property right. What is this? Basically, if you are coming up with an idea, you need to own that idea. You need to label a name of yourself on that particular idea. For that you need to go for patent of that, or getting a trademark for that particular thing. So this is getting a patent of something, or you own a patent, or you own a technology. It is your intellectual property right basically. So a lot of people does not know about this. So in this scheme we are also benefiting the person who are coming up with the idea to own their idea with their name. But it's not, they are coming up with the idea, they have started the business, and somebody else have done the patent of this idea, and they are getting the advantage, or they are getting the some percentage of your earned hard-earned money. So you need to know about this IPR. Fine. For that, what government is doing, they are creating an that awareness program for intellectual property rights, and across the India through some webinars, through lectures, and then generation of IPRs to simulate the intellectual property sorry intellectual property rights. Then a proper legal framework has been created, and laws has been created. If there was some changes was required, it has been done, so that the owner should have their ownership on that idea, and also there should be balance in the interest of owner with the public interest as well. I mean, we should have the idea, we should own the idea, but there should also be a public interest in that particular idea. Then administration and management is also working on this, for the strengthening this IPR. So there are a lot of things has been done for this intellectual property facts. So I guess we have covered enough in this for this IPR. Next is foreign direct investment. You have some ideas, you have worked on it. You were talking about earlier, like in different sectors we are working. Somebody is coming up with the idea. I talked about the fund, how you will get the fund to government. If you don't have the fund, what you will do? You can also attract the foreign investors. What India is doing, what through this plan, uh, we are automatically attracting the world towards us for the investment. So they are looking towards India for the investment, because economy of India is rising. Like you can say, India remained among the top 10 in India's rank was 7 in global economies at the by the end of 2021. So I guess sorry. So the world is looking at us, and this foreign direct investment is helping all these startups and business ideas to grow across the India. There are some data as well, like computer and software hardware has emerged as the top sector during 2020-21 with around 44% share of the total FDI. So foreign investment have seen a lot of scope in IT sector. So like in construction infrastructure, we have seen 13% of foreign direct investment. In service sector, we have seen 8%. So the investment is coming from across the world for all these business ideas. So foreign investment is one of the plan across that. Ease of doing business, other policies this. So you have the idea, you want to start a business, but how you will do it? You have to you think like there are a lot of processes to start a business, to get a license of something, to get the electricity connection, to get the all the validation, or to get the every document or text document with you. But yes, government have made this process easy. Like you have seen, if you want to incorporate a company, if you have all the document, you can complete all the process in 1 day. Earlier it was 10 days. If you want to have a power connection, the mandate time frame is limited to now 15 days. Earlier it was up to 180 days, so sometimes there was a delay in connection. Fine. If you want to start an exporting or importing thing, so number of documents, earlier it was 11 documents were required, now it is reduced to 3. So you can government have done a lot of changes so that there are you find this all these things easy to pursue. If you want to come up with a start at you, does not mean get demotivated through this all the documentation. So government is taking steps towards as well. Then validity of industrial license extended to 7 years, if from 3 years. Earlier it was 3 years. If you get a license, that was for 3 years, but now it is for 7 years. So there are a lot of changes has been done for this ease in doing business. Then there are other reforms as well for the working, like this ESIC, Employee State Insurance Corporation, and Employee Provident Fund. Like you can call it like these things are for the people who are doing job but not for the business things. But you need these reforms as well. If you have started a business, you would have some employees under you, so you need these policies as well. You need to understand these policies as well. So there are a lot of changes in these policies as well, so that a person, if he or she is starting a business, they can have ease of doing business through these other things as well. we are coming up to the last point. What are the things we have seen? We have seen sectors, we have seen policies. We have seen the opportunities, how we are creating opportunities by maintaining our, you can say, the industrial corridor, or providing strength to our supply chain system through good transportation means. Now, the things which have supported a Make in India program in this 8 years. So what are we have talked about how to go, what are the inventions through Make in India program. So if you go through all the points, these points, you can come up with your invention and make it a startup. But what has strengthened Make in India? So there are a lot of things which have strengthened Make in India. These are all the points. First is the scheme of electronic manufacturing. As we have seen a lot of rise in electronic goods manufacturing in India in the past 8 years, and we are exporting a good numbers of electronics items across the world. So this is a huge leap in the Make in India program. The next is Atmanirbhar Bharat. These schemes basically motivated a lot of people to come up with the startups and get the help from the government to start manufacturing things and creating their own ideas uh, for the manufacturing or any other things. So this thing basically, Atmanirbhar Bharat, this initiative also supported a lot of people. Then 6 women who have make India proud. So there are basically names. One is Salushka Shetty, then Upasna Makati, uh, then Naya Sagi, then Neha Satak, then Soumya, and Anupama Malik. So these 6 women have come up with their idea and started a startup and have seen a lot of growth in their industry. Basically, one of them have started a home cooked food items, which seen a lot of demand and which have seen a lot of growth. And one of them started a white print company, which also seen a lot of growth. So there are basically these 6 women who have come up with their startup and idea, and they made it big. Then next is defense industrial corridors in India. So a lot of construction has been going to work for the defense as well. Like we have seen construction around Leh Ladakh at China border for the you can say strengthening our defense system, and across the borders of the India we are creating industrial corridors and these corridors, roadways to support that system. Then Korean connection, there are some countries who are supporting India across this journey: Korea, Sweden, and Russia. So these basically 3 countries have done a lot of you can say help of India in making this Make in India program successful. Korea, Sweden, and Russia, they have provided help in various sector. Like Sweden has provided a lot of solution for smart cities, to create some smart cities in India. Then Korea have also supported in the manufacturing of electronics item to India. Then Russia, we have a steel basically company, Ural Mash, which has supported steel infrastructure for India. Then Gazprom for the natural gas extraction. Then a power company as well, that Rosatom for the Russian, that is also Russian company. So then Russia also supported India in the defense BrahMos missile. We have, you can say manufactured in India, but by the support of Russian technology. Then other countries as well who are making big in India, USA, Japan, UAE. These countries are, coming up a lot of ideas and investing a lot in India. Basically, if I say some company name like Coca-Cola is a USA based company who have invested a lot in India and making a lot of profit from India. Then from if you talk about Japan, Suzuki, Honda, all these Japanese companies have invested a lot in India, and it help in development as well as they're also getting profit. Fine. So there are several main factors which have supported India through this journey. So that's all from my side. Thank you. If anybody has a query, they can ask. Yes, that's all from my side. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. Thanks for your great presentation, I would say. And this kind of program definitely boost up the knowledge for a related area. So, yeah. So, final vote of thanks. I'd like to request Satvi sir to deliver.
Hello.
Yes,
Hello.
yes.
Sir.
Sir, there is one question from audience side. Rahul sir, can you please ask the question?
Yes.
Rahul sir.
I guess I have the question is written.
No, sir. He is speaking.
Yes, he has written. I guess it is about related to automobile sector. His question is about automobile sector.
No, sir. Question is about from the civil engineering side.
Okay, okay. Yes, yes.
That is sir. Question is typed. Please check
Yes, yes.
and answer.
Yes, the question is about again. Yes, I have read the question. It is about the automobile sector. How will the FAME scheme help to increase the demand for e-vehicles?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, I told you about that. This scheme will create a demand. Across the India. How it will basically direct the government to include some e-buses in the sector. And also include a particular number of e-vehicles in their particular state or area. Like Delhi is, I guess, ordered e-buses, and they are about to create e-buses, and we have seen a lot of e-rickshaws running through the country. So this is because of this initiative. We have seen two-wheelers as well. Not only the big names are coming up with these e-vehicles. Like on not only Honda, or we have seen Ola Scooty. Not only these two, big names are coming up with this e-vehicles, but there are a lot of local companies as well. You have seen a lot of local two-wheelers, which are e-vehicles basically, which has been provided, which has been given support through the government. उनको सब्सिडी मिल रहा है जब वो सेटअप कर रहे हैं उस सिस्टम को. तो ये सब जो सिस्टम सेटअप हो रहा है, इन सबको ये स्कीम आपको सपोर्ट कर रही है, दिस फेम इंडिया स्कीम. And they have given a target to the different states, so that you should have these numbers of e-vehicles in your state. So that is how they are coming up with the demand, or they are increasing the demand. That is, I guess, the question, or I guess you got the answer.
Thank you, Kaushal sir, for giving the nice lecture on the topic. Basically, the topic given, and there are a lot of civil engineering students. They are demanding this topic for the many days. So the lecture is going on, and it is completed successfully by Kaushal sir. So thank you, Kaushal sir, and ISHRAE team for that is the arrangement for giving the student opportunity for learning this type of lecture. Thank you once again. Thank you.
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.